Have you ever wondered how far phone makers can go to make devices thinner without sacrificing battery life? Apple's upcoming iPhone 17 Air is about to test those limits. This new model is expected to be Apple's thinnest iPhone ever, which sounds amazing if you love sleek design. But here's the catch. Making a phone that slim means there's less room for a big battery. So, how will Apple keep the phone running all day? Instead of packing in a larger battery, Apple is turning to smarter software powered by artificial intelligence. This might sound a bit surprising, but Apple has used software tricks before to extend battery life. This time, though, the challenge is much bigger because the battery itself will be noticeably smaller. The AI system Apple is planning to use is called Apple Intelligence. It made its debut with the iPhone 16 series and promised to make phones smarter. Things like faster replies, better app suggestions, and more efficient phone management. But the rollout wasn't perfect, and many of the features people expected didn't fully arrive. In fact, Apple isn't planning to release the full version of this AI until 2027. So, what does this mean for the iPhone 17 Air's battery right now? Apple wants the phone to learn how you use it every day. The AI will watch which apps you open, when you open them, and how long you spend on each. Then, it will manage the phone's power by limiting energy use for apps you don't need at that moment. It might even pause background tasks to save more juice. This way, even with a smaller battery, your phone could still last through the day. These battery-saving features are expected to come with iOS 19, launching in September alongside the new iPhone 17 models. And it's not just the Air version. Getting this update, all iPhone 17 phones will benefit from the smarter AI power management. Apple will likely talk more about this AI at their developer conference in June, but this year, they seem to be more careful about making promises. They've learned from last year's mistakes and want to avoid overhyping features that aren't quite ready yet. You might be wondering why Apple isn't just putting in a bigger or better battery. Other companies like Samsung are already testing new types of batteries like silicon carbon cells, which can hold more power in the same size. But Apple is sticking with its usual lithium-ion batteries for now. So, with the iPhone 17 Air being thinner, a smaller battery was almost guaranteed. That's why this AI approach is so important. If it works as planned, it could be a clever way to keep your phone powered without needing more battery space. But if it doesn't work well, users might end up with a beautiful phone that runs out of power too fast. The iPhone 17 Air seems to be designed for people who value style and a slim design over long battery life or extreme performance. It will be lightweight, elegant, and incredibly thin, but that comes with some compromises inside. Apple seems to understand this trade-off. Instead of just focusing on hardware, they're betting on smarter software to make the phone work better, with less power. It's a new way of thinking where AI plays a key role in the phone's overall experience. If Apple can make this work, it might influence how other phone makers design their devices in the future. But everything depends on real-world battery life. If the AI helps a smaller battery last a full day, this will be a big win for Apple. If not, users may feel let down. So, would you choose a super thin iPhone if its battery life relies heavily on AI managing your apps and power use? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel for more tech updates. Are you thinking about buying the upcoming Galaxy S25 Fan Edition? Well, there's something you need to know before you get too excited. The latest leak from a benchmark listing just confirmed some big details, and not everyone is happy about what's coming. Samsung fans have been waiting to see what the Galaxy S25 FE would bring, especially after mixed reviews of the last model. Now we know that it will come with the Exynos 2400E processor and 8 GB of RAM. For a lot of people, this might feel like a step back, especially for those who were hoping for a Snapdragon-powered phone. And it's not hard to understand why. Let's take a quick look at the history. The earlier Fan Edition phones like the Galaxy S20 FE and S21 FE were praised because they used the same powerful chips as the regular S series. You got great performance at a lower cost. But things changed with the Galaxy S23 FE. Samsung used an older chip in that phone, and the performance didn't quite live up to expectations. Many users felt let down, hoping it was just a one-time decision. But now, with the S25 FE also using an Exynos chip, it looks like this is becoming the new normal for the FE series. So, what exactly is the Exynos 2400E? It's a slightly downgraded version of the Exynos 2400 used in the Galaxy S24 series in some regions. It's not a terrible processor. It can easily manage calls, messages, browsing, and apps. But it's not as powerful or as efficient as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is expected to run on the regular Galaxy S25, S25 Plus, S25 Ultra, and S25 Edge. If you're someone who likes gaming, does heavy multitasking, or wants top-level performance, this might not be the chip you were hoping for. Another thing to keep in mind is RAM. Most newer phones in 2025 are moving towards 12 GBs of RAM, especially for smoother multitasking. But Samsung is sticking with just 8 GBs in the Galaxy S25 FE. That might be enough for light users, but if you keep many apps open at once or plan to use your phone for several years, more memory would definitely help. And don't expect Samsung to release a Snapdragon version in select countries like they used to. Just like with the Galaxy S23 FE, which used Exynos worldwide, the same might happen here. This could be because Snapdragon chips are getting more expensive, and Samsung wants to cut costs to keep the Fan Edition more affordable. Still, there's one good surprise in all this. The Galaxy S25 FE could come with Android 15 out of the box, while the regular S25 series may launch with Android 14. That means the FE version might get software updates for a longer time. Samsung usually provides the same number of major updates across its phones, so this could be a bonus for those who care about long-term support and new features in the future. Are you still using a Galaxy S22 and wondering if it's going to get the next big Android update? Well, there's some good news. Samsung has started testing One UI 8, which is based on Android 16, and the Galaxy S22 series is now officially part of that process. Recently, the Galaxy S22 Ultra showed up on Geekbench running Android 16 with One UI 8, and that tells us Samsung is getting serious about keeping older devices up to date. Over the years, Samsung has improved a lot when it comes to software updates. It's no longer just about the newest phones. Now even the slightly older ones like the S22 are getting attention early. Google is expected to roll out the stable Android 16 update between June and September, and Samsung looks like it's trying to be one of the first to push its own version through One UI 8. That means Galaxy S22 users may not have to wait long to get their hands on it. The company has already started testing One UI 8 on its upcoming flagship devices like the Galaxy S25 and the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Now that the S22 has joined the testing phase, it's a clear sign that Samsung is planning a broader rollout. Reports even suggest that a beta program might launch before the end of the month, which would give some users early access to try out the update before its full release. But before you expect a completely new look or tons of flashy features, there's something you should know. So far, the early versions of One UI 8 don't seem to bring major changes. The initial builds are focused more on improving how the system works, smoother animations, small design tweaks, and performance enhancements that happen quietly in the background. It's all about stability right now. Samsung usually adds more visible changes as beta testing moves forward, so more updates will likely come later. For Galaxy S22 owners, this update is especially important for another reason. It's going to be the last major Android version they'll receive. The S22 series was released in 2022 with Android 12. Since Samsung promised 4 years of Android version upgrades, Android 16 with One UI 8 will complete that promise. After this, S22 users will continue to get monthly or quarterly security patches, but they won't be getting any more major Android version updates. That said, it doesn't mean the phone becomes outdated or useless. These security patches will still keep your phone safe, and performance tweaks might be included from time to time. But this marks the end of big changes for the S22 series, and that makes the One UI 8 update kind of a milestone. What's also worth noticing is how closely Samsung is working with Google's Android timeline. Starting tests this early shows that Samsung wants to stay competitive and keep its users updated ahead of others. In the past, Samsung was criticized for being slow with updates,